You're listening to the We Are Libertarians podcast network. Find all of our shows at wearelibertarians.com. You're listening to the We Are Libertarians network. Learn more at wearelibertarians.com.
Welcome to episode 9 of the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Morrell. We've made it 9 episodes, Mr. Dakota.
9 episodes. One more and it'll be double digits.
Double digits.
And then double digits for quite some time.
We're experiencing the tad bump after the last episode. This is episode 9. Episode 7. It's been out there for a little while. I think everybody's had a chance to see it. We're over 500 listens now. Over 500. We are the second fastest growing podcast not the second fastest. I guess we're the biggest hit since Tad Talk. We'll put it that way.
There we go.
So I think as far as the ratings go, we're right there below We Are Libertarians and Tad Talk. So Boss Hog Liberty is officially a hit.
There you go.
I think we're looking towards going to syndication now.
After just 8 episodes, and we're doing that good.
That's right. We outlasted the weed guys out in weed guy and girl or whatever that was out in Colorado that Spengel had the falling out with.
Yes.
And,
we definitely outlasted them.
We've like doubled them up now. So
our board did too. Our board lasted.
Nobody's thrown our board. It's still alive. It's still producing episodes. So that's going our way. And Spengel was giving me crap yesterday. Before we get into that, I'll introduce our third guest so he doesn't feel like he's been muted here. You know him well at this point. It's Tanner Perdew. Welcome back, Tanner.
Thank you.
So we actually do like you being on here. It's not that you just live a mile from the studio and we invite you over every time.
Hey, I mean, you guys, you need the listeners, and I'm definitely the guy to do that. I have a pretty big following myself, so you're welcome for the 450 listeners that you gained by having me on here.
By bringing you along. Well, that's
congratulations.
The Tanner bump is all it took.
Yeah.
All it took was your a little Hank Hill, and it's
Yeah, everybody loves Hank Hill.
A little Hank Hill action. We're right up there at the top.
That's it. So yeah, I was giving Spengel crap. We were looking at the numbers the other day, and he claims he doesn't claim. Hey, I'm sure he did. He went through every episode of We Are Libertarians and added all the hosts and co-hosts and sorted them so you can see who's been on each episode. I've only been on 8 episodes of We Are Libertarians. It's a big show. The same number that Chloe the Greek, apparently I can't say her name tonight. A full weekend of partying at the Speedway has taken my ability to say Anagnos away from me. But I've done 8 episodes of the big show, and Chloe's done 8, and she was calling me out for having only done that, and she gets called no show.
Well, that's because you don't turn it down.
That's right.
I mean, you don't say no.
If I'm asked to go, I go. Although I was asked to go this Thursday, and I said, "Hey, man, I'll go if you want me to, but we're having this big pool party here later this weekend, and I'll go if you want me to."
We got to prep for that.
Yeah, we got to full all hands on deck. Everybody's invited back on Thursday night. We got to clean this house and get it in order, so that the wall crew can destroy it.
That's right. I'm so ready to destroy this house. Yeah. Although I had a pretty debauchery-filled weekend.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
We're coming off Memorial Day 2017.
Party.
Yeah. You got to reunite with all the Southern Indiana hooligans that you hang out with in the summertime.
That's right. I did.
I've never met these people. Once again, another place Dakota doesn't invite me. I get to go to his house, but he doesn't let me in his social circle.
Hey, you can go down there anytime.
Anytime?
Actually, you know what? You should come down on 4th of July because that's when our next poker run is, and you'll get to experience some real.
You've seen me. I'm not really what you would call a runner.
Oh, it's like a motorcycle poker run. Except it's with golf carts throughout the park.
Oh, okay. So,
and
do you have to bring your own golf cart, or you got room? You got room for the Boss Hog?
I got room for the Boss Hog.
Do you play Hold'em?
What you do is like with that you go to different stops. There's 5 stops set up at people's trailers.
Or you draw a card at each at each trailer.
Yeah, you draw a card at each trailer, And they got, like, at the stops, they've got, like, different types of booze, like, usually Jello shots, pudding shots, some type of other shots.
Now, 5 stops isn't really enough. So how many hands do we get to play in this poker run?
Oh, you can buy as many cards as you want. It's $10 for one card.
Okay.
And you pull a card at each stop. And then if you're, like, really close towards the end of the night to having a hand, like a straight or something.
Right.
And you need something else, then you can buy a new card. You can buy another draw for $1, and you can end up winning like up to $150. So
this is all strictly legal. What charity are y'all benefiting?
Brookville Lake Resort.
Sounds like they're
a nonprofit.
The Tiger Woods Foundation, so you can just drink and drive and go to these stops.
That's
around
right.
town.
Man, we had a rough
And
Memorial
then
Day,
there's
and so did
huge-
Eldrick. Eldrick Woods got a DUI
Yeah.
blowing a 0.0.
He was like, "Yeah, I swear I'm not fucked up on alcohol. It's all the prescription drugs I'm on. That's what's."
Have you followed that at all? He was found in the
No.
turn lane, foot on the brake, car running, blinker on, asleep in the car at 2 a.m.
That's hilarious.
That's a rough night.
What do you
Rough
have
night
to do
for
to
the
get on
Nike
that
legend.
level?
He blew a 0.0. It was all. He was like, "Yeah, I haven't been drinking. I'm just fucked up on pills."
It sounds like he's Jim Irsay, but he doesn't have $30,000 in cash in the backseat to bribe the cops.
Always keep your $30,000 in the bag.
That's where I keep mine.
I heard they were gonna release.
I've got 2 cars though, so I got to have $30,000 in each.
Yeah.
I got to be pretty cash heavy.
I heard they were gonna release the police dash cam video of it. Or
Yeah,
have they
that's-
released that yet?
It's supposed to come out sometime this week.
Okay.
So check local listings on how quickly you're listening to the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast. Once again, it's Jeremiah Morrell here with Dakota Davis and Tanner Perdew today. Kind of going down the Memorial Day festivities. You were down in Brookville for some debauchery.
Yep.
You're you're in a lake community, right? It's an exclusive
Right.
lake community on wheels.
Well, some of them. There's a lot of park model homes in there too.
Homes, right?
Right.
But
And-
they came in on.
they
on
came in
wheels.
on wheels. They don't
Right.
have wheels on them anymore.
Do you guys have a little pucker factor whenever the tornado sirens start going off?
I've never been down there when that happens, but it's pretty hilly, so I don't think we'd have anything to worry about down there.
We were my crew. I tried to get Tanner to come with me, and he wouldn't do it. And Dakota was, avoiding the Indy 500 like the plague. But
I was fishing.
I was at turn 3 of the infield of the Indianapolis 500, myself and about 30 of my closest friends and family. And the race was cool. They got it in, didn't have rain. Got to the end of it. We're hanging out. There was a B-52 Flying Fortress that the bomber was during the national anthem. That was the flyover.
Oh yeah.
And the crew came to the race after. They landed at Indianapolis Airport, got shuttled over, went to the pagoda, hung out with Jake Gyllenhaal and BB Rexa or whoever who did the national anthem. And then they figured out that they quit serving beer at the track when the race was over. So they stole a golf cart and drove out to turn 3 and found us. So they were drinking
Wow.
beers and hanging out with us in the infield.
That's awesome.
And they hung out with us until the weather got really bad.
Yeah.
The cops were trying to get everybody to take shelter, and they took off at the last minute. Everybody got in my truck, and I didn't. We always grill because when you go to the track, you're locked in. There's 250,000 people that are trying to leave, and you're stuck with everybody. You're on the inside, so they don't even let traffic out for like over an hour. So we get back and we fire up the grill and eat. By the time food was done, the storm was rolling in. We didn't get my awning taken down, and I think 4,000 gallons of water pooled on top of my awning, and you can't see outside. It was so bad, thunder, lightning, and this guy comes running up to my truck, bangs on the window. Hey, man, you want me to take that awning down for you? And I look over, and it's just a pile of smoldering metal, or it's collapsed. And I was like, no, man, it's fine. He's just insistent. And it's raining in my car, and it's annoying me. And he's like, let me fold that up for you at least. So he takes the cover off, the canopy, off my awning, folds it up, and throws it in the back of my truck. I'm like, gee, thanks. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What a guy.
He was a cool dude. He was probably trashed like everybody else
Did you
there.
give him a beer?
No, it was raining. So I wasn't
gave
getting
him a
out
beer.
I wasn't getting out to get him a beer. It was I had my truck was full. My brother's Dodge was full. It was a wild time. Fun weekend. If you, not everybody's got their own Memorial Day traditions where you go, you like to go fishing or you go camping or whatever. For over 250,000 people every year, they go to that race, and it was really fun. We got up at 3:00 in the morning.
Oh yeah, how
left
was
my
that?
house, drove down, met my brother and his girlfriend Sarah and my cousin. We all drove down, and we got into the. They opened the gates at 6 in the morning. We got to our spot by 6:30 and started setting up camp, and we didn't get home
that
until
is
about
intense.
12. And the drinking starts immediately. The Snake Pit. Have you heard of the Snake Pit?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
It's like the you know what EDM is? Electric dance music.
Yeah.
Some guy
Right.
dressed like a marshmallow or something was up there playing music. And I don't know if these guys actually make the music or if it's just all like DJs. I'm too old apparently.
It's so hard to figure that out.
Yeah.
And it seems like everybody is a DJ. Like if you get scratched by a DJ, you turn into a DJ.
Like vampires. or
It
something?
was unbelievable. It's the biggest party. I don't know anywhere else you could go to see a party like that. We're just people stacked on top of themselves, bringing whatever alcohol you want. As long as it's not in a glass bottle, they don't care.
No glass bottles. Huh?
No glass bottles. It smells very skunky. They do have a real skunk problem there. I don't know how they're going to address that, but they got skunks everywhere.
In the middle of the track.
Yeah.
What?
Skunks.
Yeah. They need pellet guns or something. So you take those skunks out. And then, so there's probably 15 or 20,000 people just tailgating in the infield with their pop-up awnings and their coolers and everything.
Jeez.
And then about 50 or 60,000 people at this EDM festival that's happening inside of the track. And then another 220,000 people in stands around the track on the outside. So it's just ridiculous.
You hit up one of the poker runs with me this year, and I'll hit up the Indy 500 with you next year.
Is that the deal?
That's the deal.
All right. So what's the poker run schedule? Because as the president of Henry County's Memorial Park, I do have some official responsibilities to sit there and watch the fireworks go off at Henry County.
Well, then you've only got one other option.
Is that Labor Day?
It's Labor Day.
Man.
You going to be able to do it?
I'll make one of them work. Is it on the 4th of July, or what's the timing?
No, it's always the Saturday.
Okay.
The Saturday of the weekend of the holiday.
I'll make something work.
So
You got accommodations for myself and the second lady of Liberty, the second lady, boss hog, whatever we're calling Sarah. I don't know what title we have for her. You got room for us down there? Or?
Oh, yeah. We can make something work.
All right.
I'm sure.
All
I
right.
mean, there's a guest bedroom, but
You'll probably have other guests though. This is a prestige weekend.
it's a prestigious weekend. But see, in our trailer, it's just usually Audrey and I, and then either one of my friends, but now all my friends live out of state. So this weekend,
So that's why you have to hang out with me now.
Yeah. So this weekend it was just my grandparents.
Okay.
So,
But
they're not-
don't they live next door? Aren't they? Don't they have somebody has the trailer next to you?
Oh, that's my mom and dad.
Oh, okay. All right.
My parents have the trailer next to us. And
All in a row.
yep. And no, my grandparents live in Florida.
Okay.
So they
All right.
they,
So
won't be
they
up.
don't visit that often. It's just
Right.
from time to time.
They were up here because my sister's graduating high school this week. So they decided to come up a week early for the poker run.
Is your sister graduating high school the day of? Does she have an open house the day of our big party?
Yeah, she is. Yep.
You have a
Too bad
conflict?
You have to miss it.
No.
You don't have
No.
to. You don't have to be there very long.
No, I'm not gonna say that.
Is she
the whole
18
time.
yet? Are you going to bring her by?
No,
'Cause
she's
there's
not
some-
18.
there's some libertarians that would like to meet her. I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure Tanner would love to meet her. Do you know her? Do you know his sister?
Who's your sister?
Her name's Bailey.
I don't know her.
Oh.
Did you know there's another Dakota Davis?
Yeah, I did.
He's about
in this town?
400
Yeah,
pounds.
in this town. Yeah.
I think it's you with a fat suit on. he gets a
Hey.
Make America Great
All right,
Again hat.
let's hush on that. That's
You
enough
wear
of
your
that
convention of states hat, and he wears the MAGA hat.
talk. Yep. It's top secret. We'll say that. Top secret. There's only a select few that know the truth about my secret.
There's a couple Jeremiah Morrells around, but there's no more in Henry County. There's
Really?
yeah. There's
I
a
mean,
there's
there's
a,
another Dakota Davis in
in
Newcastle.
this town. Yeah.
In Newcastle.
That's
It's weird. Strange.
yeah. I was the first Jeremiah Morrell that got on the internet though, so I'm like older than most of them. so there was a
So
kid. Yeah, he's an Ivy Tech dude. 400 pounds is a little aggressive. I don't think he's four. I don't think that goes $4 yet.
No, he's
That
not.
was
Let
when-
him grow into it. He might.
He,
that
he
was
might
when-
get there one
He
day.
might.
That was when he was in elementary school.
Oh God. That's
Elementary school? Are you serious?
I hope not.
that's rough, man.
He looks like Wilford Brimley, kind of, from the
We need to
diabetes.
get Michelle Obama down here.
Wilford
Stat.
Brimley. I sent it. So I sent Greg Lenz a Wilford Brimley thing. Do you remember Seinfeld?
Yeah.
I wasn't planning on going here. Do you remember Seinfeld, Dakota?
Yeah, I know Seinfeld.
All right. So I told Greg today, I said, I think I am ready to get off of social media because there's this time hop deal that happens now. You're tagged in something a year or two ago, and it's on this day, you know. And we do these memes. This is kind of the shtick and the fun, and we poke fun at each other. I had to apologize. I had to apologize.
Oh,
I was insensitive because I shared something from a year or two ago, and person A and person B are no longer in a relationship together. And if you share something and they're not together, and then it reminds them, and it's your fault. I just thought it was funny.
Them? You lived that part of your life. What do you?
I'm trying to forget. Fuck off.
So I was like, I don't have time to research. You know, and we get tagged. You'll learn this as you continue your career
I get
in wall.
tagged all the time.
Right. Well,
It's
you'll get
Spangle
tagged
stuff.
in something that was now 4 years in the past and think it's funny and share it. Haha. Well, you don't have time to remember who's dated who or who knew who or who's dead or whatever's happened in the last 4 years and all 12 or 15
Who's
people.
dead?
It's too much. I think I want out. So Newman at one point went to the post office and said, I want out of the mail. And Wilford Brimley played the postmaster general and came in and practically beat the shit out of Kramer and told him, "You will take your mail." So that was the Wilford Brimley. I can't believe you know Wilford Brimley. First
I
of all, Tanner,
absolutely love Wilford Brimley.
from the diabetes or the oatmeal.
The diabetes. Hi, I'm Wilford Brimley. I'm here to talk to you about adult onset type 2 diabetes. I was eating ice cream and apple pie. He's a legend.
Did you ever watch My Fellow Americans? It's a political movie.
No.
No, I've never seen
Was
it.
Wilford in it?
Yes,
No way.
he was. And Bradley Whitford, who was on The West Wing, if you're a political guy, and then Jack Lemmon, who you probably have never heard of, but if you
No,
watch
I've never
Grumpy Old
heard of
Men,
Jack
he's one of those guys. He's an old comic, and then Maverick or the guy from the Rockford Files, James Garner. They were two former presidents, so they're old men in the movie. They're both, unfortunately, they've passed on now. Funny movie, made in the 90s. Just really funny.
90s movies are the greatest.
Oh yeah.
Like, nothing can top a good, like, Chris Farley and Adam Sandler duo movie. Like, that's just...
Yeah, so for me, like, the mid to late 80s, like John Hughes, and I don't know if you guys appreciate some of those, but like from Ferris Bueller to Uncle
yeah.
Buck and
man,
any of the John Candy, anything with John Candy in it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Home Alone was great. How about Canadian Bacon? Did you guys ever watch Canadian Bacon?
I've never even heard of that.
No?
No.
We're going to end this podcast and we're going to have movie night right now tonight. You guys don't have plans, right?
I've seen Wilford Brimley. That's about it. That's the only name I know out of all of those.
Of all of the names I gave you.
Other than Chris Farley.
Right. Did you know Adam Sandler? Please?
Yeah.
All right. But you don't know John Candy?
No.
Wow. All right. Well, we got a lot of work to do.
I'm not a big movie guy, though.
Yeah.
I don't have the attention span to sit down for 2 hours and watch.
So Canadian Bacon, it's like there's a guy who's a sheriff of Buffalo, New York, and he thinks that Toronto is invading. So and they're declaring war on Canada.
Oh, wow.
And it's all fake. It's all BS.
Right.
So, but this sheriff goes basically on his own. He and Rhea Perlman, I think, and they invade Canada. And Dan Aykroyd is in. You know Dan Aykroyd?
No.
Another guy you have no freaking clue who he is. Man, if you just go watch some 80s and 90s comedy, like start with Stripes and work your way through.
I've watched a lot of, like, 90s comedy. Like, Ace Ventura, Good
Right.
Burger,
Yeah.
all the classics.
Good Burger, welcome to Good Burger. May I take your order?
Oh, yeah. The
Welcome
Good
to
Burger.
Brisket Wireless.
Oh, man. Yeah, you should do that. You should go in that character.
Definitely.
And now
I
he's
need
on
some-
SNL. He's like the most tenured guy on
Kel
SNL.
Mitchell
Yeah.
is? No
No,
way.
Keenan is.
Oh, Keenan.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know whatever happened to Kel.
I'm on his Facebook page. We're friends.
You're Facebook friends with Kel?
Yeah. That shows where he went. Less than 5,000 friends.
He's less popular than Chris Spangle. Kel Mitchell, Los Angeles, California.
Yeah.
I'm going to unfriend him for you.
No, don't do that.
We're scrolling here. He's got 4,600. You have one mutual friend. Who's your mutual friend with Kel?
Oh, that's my buddy Zeke.
Your buddy Zeke.
My
Yeah,
buddy
I think
Zeke.
I told him to add him in like 7th grade or something.
That's awesome.
Like,
Yeah, I
"Let's
remember
go
when
from
you could
Good
do
Burger."
that. Like,
Who's your most famous Facebook friend? That's like actually a real person.
Dude, I have no idea.
Loser.
Like, I have no idea at all.
You haven't like gone out and found like Kel Mitchell or somebody that used to be famous that you're like, oh yeah, I'm Facebook friends with them.
I think that the most famous person that I know is probably Ron Paul's brother.
Okay.
I don't even. Yeah, his name is also Ron Paul.
No.
It's Ronnie Paul.
Ron and Ronnie.
Paul.
Yeah,
Larry,
Ron and Ronnie.
Larry, Daryl, and Daryl Paul.
Yeah, yeah. Ron Paul's brother named Ronnie.
This is my brother
And,
Ron and my other brother Ron.
He just started on Facebook like 2 months ago, and someone posted his profile in a group.
Are you sure this isn't fake?
No, this is real.
You're being trolled.
I'm not being trolled. Look, listen. Look, Carol Wells Paul is his mother.
Okay.
And this is her profile picture.
That looks like Ron Paul and his lovely wife.
No,
So it's Rand's brother.
It'd be Rand's uncle.
no, it's Rand's uncle.
Yeah.
This is Ronnie.
Uncle Ron.
I'm
That-
very confused now.
This is Ronnie.
Okay.
Ronnie Paul.
He looks like an Astros fan down in Texas.
He is an Astros fan.
Are you an Astros fan? Do you have baseball ties? Do you care?
I'm
Do you
a
give a
Reds
damn?
fan.
Because you live down, half your time down by
Right.
Cincinnati.
Right. Yeah. So
All right. That's fine. What about you? You got baseball ties? You got an allegiance?
I've got like a distant cousin or something that played for the Indianapolis Indians, but I mean, his name was Chris Truby, but I went and saw him one time. He struck out like 4 times, so I don't really associate.
You don't associate with losers in the minor leagues.
No,
If you can't bat at least 200 in the AAA's, Tanner doesn't want to be related to you.
I believe he might have got picked up by some team, but he got released. But like I said, I don't fuck with losers, so he's not.
Did
my
you go to
friend.
high school with Trey Ball? Was he?
Yeah. He was.
He's a Red Sox, right? You're supposed to be a Red Sox eventually.
Yes.
He's number one. He's number one pick in the first round, like a top 10
Yeah,
pick by the.
I believe he was number 1.
Yeah, he was early.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know him?
Yeah, I knew him not real well, but I knew of him.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously
he wouldn't talk to you in the hallways.
I don't know. I've never really been in that. I did assassinate him at the senior walk.
How's that go down?
Whenever he walked by me, I pointed out a handgun and blew his head off. So I'm kind of like Sirhan.
I'm so lost.
Oh,
Can you translate any of this for me?
No, I just found out that it's not.
Oh no.
It's not Ron Paul's brother.
Oh,
it's his son.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Ronnie Paul,
Because his
brother.
mom would have been. Yeah, that was what I was trying to say earlier. It was that it would have been Rand's brother,
Right.
Ron's son, Ron Jr.
Yeah. It's Ron Jr. Not.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's
was
still
a-
pretty good. Honestly, he's younger, so he's probably got some life left in him.
Looks like this is saying he was a state Senate candidate in Texas.
Sure,
So he didn't make it though. He didn't get elected.
I've lost 2 elections already. There's no shame in that. There's no shame in that. 27% in 2012 is my high water mark. So we'll see.
At least
we'll
you
see if
set
we
a
get-
record. I believe, didn't you?
I've set a personal record. That's the best I've done.
Well,
At the time, I think in 2-way races, it was the strongest candidate for the Libertarian Party.
okay.
Definitely for a state house race.
Because Brad did really well. When
He
ran
picked it up
for-
past me a little bit, and I think Zach picked it up.
Yeah.
Brad Owens in 2014 and Zach Lee in 2016. So
That's when I joined the party. Was whenever Brad was running.
exactly, and that's something in libertarian politics. And actually, one of the notes I have for today was how we run these campaigns, and as we get into the political season, it's kind of we're in the off year in Indiana. We're not going to have an election this year, so this is kind of our goof off, blow off year, and rebuilding and kind of having social events and doing fun things. And that's a part of what this podcast is for me is developing relationships with people and finding ways to talk about issues and have some fun with them. But as we gear up for 2018, start to think about what kind of races we get into and what's on deck. I really think that the key is local local races.
Yeah, I agree.
We look at what happened in Montana, I guess last week, and there was a candidate. The Libertarians ran a candidate who I think picked up about 5% in a special election. In an election that the Republican, what happened, Dakota? The Republican smacked somebody.
Yep, he full on John Cena that dude.
Gave him the F5.
You can't see
me. The Libertarian actually got 5.3%, I believe.
Yeah, something like that. It was pretty solid.
16% in Liberty County. So it's kind of ironic.
No.
But what happens
Not really. That just makes sense.
In races like that, big money always seems to come in, and it always follows the candidates that can actually do something. And as a libertarian, especially at the national level or at a big state office, libertarians aren't there offering up big handouts, or they're not offering to reach into Dakota's pocket to pay for Tanner's lifestyle, and that's what PACs like to do. So you see these PACs that fund most of these campaigns in their corporate interests, or their interest groups for this special project or that special project, or the insurance company, or the warm beer lobby versus the cold beer lobby, and it's musical chairs, and that's where you get your tens of thousands and millions of dollars to fund these races. And it's really difficult for us to compete on those levels, especially without real grassroots support and networks to get that out. So we always find ourselves trying to, at least I advocate for trying to have local races and local candidates, where we can be much closer on money.
Yeah, I'm huge on local races. I mean, everybody that you talk to, if you're a libertarian and you go outside and you start talking to people and start talking about politics, and you say, well, I'm a libertarian, and they say, oh yeah, I cannot tell you how many times I've heard someone say, yeah, libertarians align, I align more closely with libertarians than anybody else, but I just won't vote for them because they can't win.
Yeah.
Once we start winning, like once we have a town council member in Shirley or something, or a county council, city council in Newcastle.
We do have a Shirley, Indiana town council member.
Right, I know. And but anyway, once we start getting these positions, then people, start seeing that we can do stuff. We are here. Our policies make sense. They say, well, you know what? The Libertarian did win here, so if I vote for him, then, I'm not throwing my vote away. That's the biggest issue that we have to face, is people just thinking that they're wasting their vote.
Yeah. If everybody that voted for a third-party candidate because they thought they could win rather than thought they couldn't win, then it would be a landslide election in every race, in my opinion. But what I normally get is, oh, my great aunt was a librarian, or something along the lines of, what the hell's a libertarian? You kind of have to explain it, but then once you explain it, they're like, well, okay, I can align with this, and this. And another thing is, I believe most of us would actually stick to our word if we did get elected, and that's not something that one of the two major parties could say, because they promise to do something and then don't come anywhere close to it.
It becomes, whether it's an issue of personal favors versus just having principle. And that's something that, as a libertarian, you're able to actually just be a person based on principle. And you don't have to go back and apologize or tell constituent A, hey, yeah, this guy, in whatever way you're going to do it, this guy wrote me a check, or this is the way this one went down, or I had to trade this for that. You simply
just don't say anything to them,
or you just quit taking their phone calls.
That's right.
You're very predictable, and it's easy to understand where they're going to be.
Right. I had an older gentleman, a baby boomer, We'll go ahead and say it. It was a baby boomer. I was passing out.
Somebody your parents' age.
Yeah.
Are your parents baby boomers or Gen Xers?
I don't know. They're 44. What is that?
What year is that? Your mom's born in like
72.
God, they are Gen Xers.
Mine are baby boomers.
Yeah, mine are boomers.
63.
My parents are pretty young.
64 is like the last year of baby boomers.
Oh.
Am I closer to your parents' age than I am to you? 44, 11. 33 minus 44 is 11.
Wow.
I'm like right in between.
Even.
Right in between.
Very even. No, he came up to me, and it was my first time ever volunteering to do anything for the Libertarian Party. After I had been pestered so much by Jeremiah and Morrell, I finally agreed to go and do something for the party. And we went out, we're at the fair, and passing out flyers alongside Rex Bell whenever he was running for governor in
Libertarian
the state of Indiana.
Elvis is what he is.
Yeah, that's right. If you don't know who Rex Bell is, then you need to get up on Amazon, look up Stinky Shorts.
If you don't know who Rex Bell is, that's a you problem at this point, because we've promoted Rex a lot.
Living under a rock.
Rex is a legend.
I handed him something, and he said, "Libertarian Party? That sounds too much like liberal for me," and then walked off. And I thought, that's new. Like, that was very interesting.
I mean, there's a lot of words that sound like other words that don't mean anything close
Like
to
lemons and limes, those are very different.
Yeah.
But they'll start with L's.
I mean, shit, they can grow on the same tree.
Yeah. Well,
It sounds too much like liberal for some people. So maybe it's a name problem.
liberal librarians. So, total non sequitur. You sell your car yet?
Nope.
You dropping
Still
your
for
price?
sale.
Apparently you're asking too much for that piece of crap, as Tad called it.
Nope. I'm not dropping the price. I'm just going to keep making payments on it until I sell it.
You need to have Tad drive it, and then it would be worth double the asking price.
How many miles are on it?
50.
It's 50 miles?
50,000.
50,000 miles on a
Yeah.
Chevy Corvette. No. Camaro.
Sonic.
Oh, damn. I thought I was going to blink. It was going to be better. A Chevy Sonic the Hedgehog. You call it the Hedgehog? Does it have a name?
Yeah. It's got a nickname. People I've worked with always call it the Silver Bullet.
The Silver Bullet.
Yep. Like
They were being really nice.
I like the pimp wagon a lot better.
a pimp wagon. It's not really a wagon, though, because it's too small.
Is it a Kia? Or
It's a
is
Chevy.
It's a Chevy.
It is a Chevy?
It's got a bow tie on it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Blacked out bow tie, carbon fiber.
You have put more upgrades into that Sonic than any car I've seen. It's like the SS. It's almost, if they didn't make an SS version.
No,
but
they did.
It feels like
I have turned it into the SS version.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally have, and it was cheaper for me to do all of that myself than what it was to buy the SS package.
You just don't have the extra horsepower.
I mean, I dropped the turbo in it.
How many horse is it?
216.
Really?
Yeah.
For a go-kart, that's pretty solid.
I think
go-kart.
216. Well, that's what the stock is. I don't know. I don't know if a turbo affects actual horsepower.
Yeah, it should.
And then it's probably got more than that.
Yeah, probably 218.
Now, yeah. Now, the turbo that I got came from Japan, and the cold air intake, or the filter that was coming up, it was white, and it had a pink daisy painted on the top of it. I mean, it's not like that now. I painted it.
Okay, you didn't go to a K&N. You took the one that came with the turbo.
Oh, yeah, I took the one that came with it.
Yeah.
I mean, the horsepower, I guess it would depend if you're talking about regular horses or you talking one like Seabiscuit or something. 'Cause, I mean, 218 Seabiscuits is pretty damn impressive. But if it's,
Like the miniature
218
horses.
horse out of the backyard, then it's a piece of shit.
Thoroughbreds versus quarter horses.
I didn't say yours wasn't
You
Seabiscuits.
get kicked by a quarter horse and you get kicked by a Seabiscuit, and you're not going to know a damn difference.
Raise your hand if you've been kicked by a horse. I have.
I never have.
Yeah.
I've never been close enough to a horse to get kicked by one.
You afraid of them?
Yeah, they freak me out, man.
Really?
Can you imagine how fucking scary it would be being over here for like a war or something and seeing fucking horses for the first time, I would be absolutely terrified.
You would have not made a good settler.
Where are these? Yeah.
We're settlers, son.
I mean,
got
they
Comcast.
got big teeth. I'd be running. As
The
fast
teeth
as
aren't what's scary about a horse.
No, it's just
I was-
the
I
sheer
was
size
bit-
of the creature.
I was bitten walking through a barn. Bitten, picked up, and thrown by a horse named Ed once.
By a horse named Ed.
A horse named
Named
Ed.
Ed?
He was a dick.
Man, sounds
Terrible.
like it.
Terrible.
What'd you ever do to Ed?
I walked by him. Ed had a bad disposition. He was nearly dead when my parents bought him, and the mistake they made was feeding him, and he got his bad attitude back when
They
he got
made him
when he wasn't starving anymore. They got Ed and Red. They kept Red, and Ed had to go
After he picked you up.
after
and
he
threw
picked me up and tossed me. I liked him too. He's a good horse. Once you got on him, he's all right to ride. But
Nah, I've
he
never-
was an asshole.
Mm-mm.
Stab you right in the back.
I just cannot do horses, dude. They freak me out.
Really.
Yeah, I will not get close to them. I've been in situations where, I mean, growing up,
You would have been a
it was-
shitty cowboy.
Oh, I would have been a horrible cowboy. I would have been I probably just would have been like right alongside the Irish, blowing up tunnels for the trains. And then they'd come by and be like, all right, time to head back onto the village. Everybody else would get on their horses, and I'd just walk back, and I'd make it there by dawn and then have to turn around and walk back.
You realize Tad Western listens to this, and he's no longer going to be your friend. You're going to have this is going to be ugly.
Tad Western, keep your horses away from me. I'm not dealing with that today. Too dangerous. Yeah, I agree with Tanner. Their teeth are huge. Freakishly huge.
I mean, can you imagine how big of a brush they need to clean them motherfuckers?
That's a big toothbrush.
You know they do need dentistry. You have to float them. Their teeth just grow and grow and grow, and you got to get a big file.
You have to file down their teeth.
Oh,
You grab their
goddamn.
tongue, pull it out of their mouth, pull it to the side, and then you get a big file that's about 3 foot long on a big,
What do they do in the wild?
They don't live that long. But
Interesting.
what happens
Do
if
the
you don't
Indians file them down?
I think they probably practice some animal husbandry, but what'll happen is they'll get points and it'll hurt to eat, and then they'll lose weight and they'll die. They don't live. That's why they wouldn't live that long. So you do it. Sometimes you get an older horse and they start not keeping weight on, and you have to file their teeth. So
That is interesting.
there's a
They
little
should.
tip for you. Maybe you've just been around horse with bad teeth, and they're grumpy. That's probably what Ed's problem was.
They need to start juicing their food.
That's right.
If they juice,
See,
they wouldn't have a problem.
If they were on Super Male Vitality,
Oh yeah, yeah. Super horse vitality.
yeah.
I heard John Wayne makes some.
I don't
Now
know
we-
if John Wayne's doing much of anything anymore.
No, yeah, he's rolling in his grave now. That
Hi,
you made
pilgrims.
That joke.
I'm John Wayne, pilgrims.
Well, we got a Hank Hill and a John Wayne on the podcast now.
I
Wait,
had
you
a-
two don't know who John Candy is, but by God, you know who John Wayne is.
Oh yeah,
I know who John Candy is.
God
Who's
rest his
John
soul.
Candy.
That
He
was
sounds
Tanner.
dead.
He died in Mexico in 1994, making a movie called Wagons East,
What a way to go.
where the Western settlers were giving up and said, "The hell with it, we're gonna be the first ones to turn around, and we're going back east."
I've
Another comedy. It killed him.
Sounds like a comedy.
I'm not a big fan of Mexico either.
Me neither.
I went there one time with my grandpa.
Did you go to real Mexico, or did you go to like Cruz Port Town, Mexico?
We went to Cancun.
Yeah.
All right, and
Tell me more about what your white man problems here with
No,
your
no,
bad
no.
trip to Cancun.
this is the thing. We were in Cancun, and they had the resort closed off by brick walls so that you could not see how horrible the village on the outside of our resort looked. And it was peak Ancapistan levels of capitalism in this little area.
Inside.
Well,
Inside
right.
the barracks that you're
Yeah,
staying
inside the barracks. I mean, Donald Trump's just taking a message from what Mexico's already doing. They're building walls to separate from their people, their good people, from their slummy people.
in. Their private security forces versus their government security forces.
That's right.
But you want your government to build a wall.
I don't want my government to build a wall.
You seem awful Trump sympathetic over there this morning or this afternoon.
I'm
It's
a
that,
little
it's that
sympathetic
fat
to
suit
Trump.
he's wearing. He's the
Yeah.
other Dakota Davis.
Yep. Nah,
You're the libertarian right now.
I am.
You're sounding awful portly over there.
I am the libertarian right now. No, I don't agree with anything Trump does.
Nothing?
not as a libertarian. I think that we didn't. Something came up about this in the group chat one time, where Greg pointed out that if anything, libertarians are more anti-Trump than anything else. And I was like, I don't think so, because whenever I woke up and Donald Trump had won instead of Hillary Clinton, I was like, oh, good.
I was excited.
It was.
You went to the inauguration. Of course you were excited.
Yeah. I don't
Do you have
think...
a Kyrgyzstan flag?
Huh?
Do you have a Kyrgyzstani flag hanging up in your room?
No.
I saw
I'm
that
in Ancapistan,
that
but-
dear leader had one mailed to him.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
And I thought it was an ugly tablecloth. I was not familiar.
Are you on 4chan?
No, I'm not.
You're not on Poll?
I'm not on Poll. I'm not on 4chan. I'm not on Reddit or
man.
Vote. Is it Vote? What's the other? There's like a Reddit clone.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm just sick with the OGs.
I was going to have my cousin that came into town talk about this. He plays with the dark arts of shitposting, but he was too afraid to put his name with any of this. I said, I'll give you a fake cover, and he said, no, I can't trust you.
I mean,
Oh,
I
wow.
never post anything. I just lurk and read.
I post in Ancapistan.
I see you posting Ancapistan all the time.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4chan is awesome. I mean, you get on Poll on 4chan, and it's like you hear it in the media.
Is it Poll or Paul?
I always call
I would
Poll.
think it would be
Bum, bum,
Paul.
bum.
I've always called
what I would
Poll, but
think.
I've never talked to anybody else that's
Well, it'd
in
be
it.
politics, right?
Yeah, that's what
No,
I would assume.
politically
But by
incorrect.
itself,
Is it a GIF or a GIF?
it's a GIF,
It's a
hands
hard G.
down.
Is it
Yeah.
a JPEG or a JPEG?
A JPEG.
Tomato or tomato?
Tomato.
Now, come on, anybody that said tomato, I would have to slap. That's just fucking ridiculous.
Washington or
Freaking-
Washington?
Washington.
What did you just say?
Washington.
Well, that's.
I'm just kidding.
You have Kentucky roots.
Yeah.
Do you, Dakota, or are you pure? Do you have Kentucky grandparents or great grandparents?
He's from Newcastle.
My great grandparents came here from Germany, so I'm pretty pure.
They're
there.
very pure on that
I'm very
side.
pure. Very,
You're awful dark for a German, though.
That's because I got a lot of Blackfeet Indian in me too, from my dad's side. No, my dad's family's from Arkansas, and then my mom's family's from Germany. It's a wild world we live in.
I'm Canadian. I've got Canadian roots.
Do you really?
Yeah,
I can tell,
My dad's
kinda.
side, we both
Does
got.
Chris Spangle really have Canadian roots? Like, is that a real thing, or?
Irish.
The paperwork's been destroyed. The only real link we have back to it is Troy Hill, and he's very certain that it's real. Troy's been gone longer than you guys have been around. He, dear leader, had him deported to the left coast,
Oh my!
but it's real. I think it's true. Unfortunately.
There goes my $7 a month contribution.
Well, if people are making $7 a month contributions, they probably can do it in the name of Boss Hog of Liberty instead of We Are Libertarians.
That's right, they sure can.
I hear that Christy Avery, who
Yeah.
will be at our next party, made a big contribution today.
I was
Christy
about to
Avery,
say, thank you.
super fan.
So we thank her very much for that.
Yeah, that was impressive.
She was claiming that she was wanting to take us up on the $50 offer for having Tanner make her drinks all night. I don't know.
That was an offer?
Yeah, we've made that offer
Yeah.
when you weren't here.
Oh,
If somebody
I'll
makes
do it.
if somebody makes $50 in contributions and mentions the Boss Hog of Liberty when they do that, a $50 one-time contribution, then Tanner is your basically your servant for the night, and he'll make you drinks, cocktails, grab
Absolutely.
beers, whatever it is. So, Christy, you've got your boy or your man servant of sorts.
It's got to be more than $50, doesn't it?
No, I mean, no, you don't get any of it. This is going to
That's
dear
all
leaders.
I'm worth
cost
is $50?
It's a $50 minimum.
Yeah, that's it. It's just $50.
Yeah.
Some of those people would
$50 or
at
more.
least donate $300.
If you do 300, 400, 500, for 1,000, I guess Boss Hog of Liberty could be your servant for the night.
I mean,
Serve you drinks.
I'm already like the Wolfgang Puck of the alcoholic beverages. Although I don't drink myself, I could whip up a mean cocktail.
What can you do with blue Curaca?
Everything.
Blue. What is blue Curaca? I've never heard of that
Is
drink
that how you
before.
pronounce it?
No,
How do you pronounce
blue Curaca.
it? Curaca.
You can grab it. It's over there.
I just missed the O at the end. I've not been doing this.
You want to do a shot of it straight up?
I'll do a shot.
I'll drink it straight out of the
Why don't
bottle.
you go get a shot glass?
You're not allowed
You're
to.
not
You're
drinking
not old
any of
enough.
it. You can have your Pepsi.
All right.
Why don't you get the blue Curaca in a shot glass? This is now at this point, our job is to pass the time while he's in the Boss Hogs bar over there, grabbing the bottle of blue Curaca
Grab me a Pepsi.
in just the one shot glass. He's got my Deadwood shot glass.
It's got my name on it.
Oh, that
It's
looks disgusting.
it's from South Dakota. That's your favorite Dakota, isn't it? Dakota?
Yeah, that's my favorite Dakota. That is for sure.
Don't spill
Oh,
that.
that looks terrible.
Don't spill it. We're gonna get a picture. This is going to be internet content here. We are when you see this is from the yellow room, my back living room here. You see the fish that Tad tried to kill in the background, and the great Scott Dixon, who was held up at gunpoint last week at.
Am I gonna need a chaser for this?
You may be the first man to ever take a shot of blue Curaca straight up.
Had
So
to beat
have
this.
that Pepsi that he's got sitting there. And why don't you move the big bottle to the center and let Tanner cap it, in case something goes terribly
If you
wrong.
cannot do this, you are a pussy.
Here.
You know, my first time ever at a college party,
Oh my god, that smells awful.
I was at my very first college party, and one of my friends was there, and everybody.
I feel like you're stalling.
I am stalling, but this is a funny story. But the majority of the people there were underage, and I'm going to incriminate myself because I was too. And
I'm sure the statute of limitations is up by now.
so we're at this party, and all that these people could get was a big bottle of Skull vodka,
The $5 for a $7.50.
right? But it was
Skull vodka.
It was a huge. It was
Yeah.
almost 2 liters or something, and.
I almost had to buy that over the weekend because I couldn't find anything plastic, and finally I found my brand. I drink. What's the blue one? I don't even know. Svedka. I found Svedka in the plastic.
No, this was a Skull, and everybody was drinking out of the same one because that's all that was there. Like I said, everybody was underage, and I don't remember how this happened, but I haven't been drinking at all. I wasn't a big drinker back whenever I was in high school, and someone was like, "Man, you gotta they were taking shots and then they were drinking a bunch of orange juice chaser, and I was like, you don't need a chaser with that stuff. And my friend was like, yeah, I do, man. This stuff's really strong.
Orange juice and vodka would be a...
Right, but we didn't know it then. And he goes, oh, I bet you can't do it without a chaser. And I was like, dude, I bet I could go up there and chug that thing. And he goes, whatever. So I walk up there,
Screwdriver, by the
and
way.
I grabbed the bottle by the neck, and I started chugging it, and I got 5 or 6 seconds worth out of it. Everybody was counting. I felt really cool.
Yeah.
Put it down. Didn't even need a chaser. Bam.
All right, now take the shot.
And
I'll
you,
take the
and you
shot
blacked
now.
out. And down it goes.
Woo!
Your teeth
I
are
don't
blue.
need it. Are they?
Yes.
I don't need a chaser.
What'd that
for
taste like? Because I literally have never had blue Curaca by itself.
It literally just tasted like blueberry vodka. That's
Yeah, I don't know what that tastes like, but it sounds pretty good.
That's for
that's
an
all it
AMF.
tastes like. It really wasn't that bad at all.
There's a couple other things you put it in. But,
Do you have any Everclear?
No,
It's only
I'm
48.
over
Well,
30.
Let's see if you can do that. You got any rubbing alcohol?
There might be some in the medicine cabinet.
I don't know, dude.
I have
that,
bourbon and gin and tequila and regular whiskey.
That absinthe
and-
at the
and
last
vodka.
party was a million times stronger than that.
I have some bad news about absinthe. That came from Lisa, and she is not. She's going to be in town. She's going to be in the state. Lisa Crosby is going to be in Indiana from Florida. She flew up special for the last one, and now she's not going to come to this episode.
She's not coming to the party?
No, she's coming to
Yeah,
town for a
what's up with
graduation.
that?
This is a public appeal right now from her boys, from
Yep.
Dakota and Tanner.
I saw where she
Come
said,
home.
She said something like, unless something changes.
Maybe you could change your mind.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll have my shirt off, Lisa.
Really?
That'll help.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, we're swimming. And I also
Didn't
have
you claim you're working on a dad bod, unfortunately?
I've got a great dad bod. It is the greatest dad bod of all dad bods. It's
need
pretty
some
good.
New Balance or something.
Yeah, I do. I just got my slippers on tonight,
Oh,
though.
nice.
Do you have New Balances?
I don't think so. Oh, but Lisa, I also have some, 6 inches above the knee swim trunks. I think I'm going to break them out for the
6
pool
inches
party.
above the knee?
Above
Those
the
just
knee.
scream
They're like,
dad.
Are they
they're
American
like-
flag? What are they? What
No, they're not American flag. They got little leaves all over them.
maple leaves? Canadian?
No, they're not maple leaves. I
They're
don't
not
know what
pot
they are.
leaves, are they?
No, they're not pot leaves. I don't know what they are. They're just like these little leaves. And they look like they're straight out of, 1982.
Have you got a wardrobe worked out, Tanner, for the big pool party?
what?
A wardrobe?
No.
Or are you going to do like you did last time, just get in your underwear like you did at with the Tadcast poolside?
That's the plan right there.
Did you hear that, Lisa? Tanner's going to be in his underwear all night.
If you're
I would
lucky,
rather
it
he's in
won't-
his underwear than James Neese naked again. I'll tell you that right now. I will make that trade all day long.
Yes, I would too.
All day long. Cross promotion. We had Tad and Miranda of Miranda's World was at the Indy 500 with us in the infield, and she is claiming that herself and her lovely boyfriend Joey will be in attendance. So, prepare yourselves. Brace
my.
yourself, Henry County.
Hey, I guess that our special guest, that's Audrey's friend, that's coming to the party on Saturday, that Chris Spangle desperately wanted to meet. She was in turn 3 at the Indy 500 as well.
Hanging out with me.
She was.
She never came to I never invited her. I didn't know to invite her to the party.
I invited her to the party.
No, to the turn 3 party.
Oh, to the turn 3 party. No, she was there though.
My very good friend Jeff Vibert came by with one of his bosses, Todd McComas. I was in the grandstand. I'm sorry I missed it, but my brother and Todd McComas did the Stone Cold some beers or whatever.
Yeah.
Knock them together and take
I
them
saw
back.
that picture.
It looked rough. The week that the Barstool Heartland guys took out there just looked. It looked like
Now,
their
was
liver
that
had
your
to be
brother
gone.
that was just dumping the beer all over himself? It wasn't really getting in his mouth.
Yeah, probably. he sometimes he doesn't play by the rules.
So I had this weekend. I bought some Milwaukee's Best.
Milwaukee's Best.
Yep, and took it down to the campground, and I gotta say, I was a huge fan.
That sounds like the kind of beer that comes in a 30-pack.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
It was $10.
It's like Stroh's Light,
30 cents.
Busch
a beer.
Light,
Hams.
Hams. Yeah, Hams is
See,
a
I'm not a
30-pack.
big fan of hams, but that Milwaukee's
You don't want a
Best,
Hams in your hand?
No.
See, those are all just so watery to me. I don't like a watery beer.
The Milwaukee's Best was not.
Yeah.
That's why I liked it. It was pretty
Did you
good.
bring one?
I didn't bring one.
Is it old
I drank
Milwaukee?
them all this weekend.
Or Milwaukee's Best?
Milwaukee's
Run out to
Best.
the
I've heard of old Milwaukee.
run out to the beer fridge real quick, and there's some chili water stuff out there that a friend of ours brought. Get 2 of
Chili
those.
water.
Chili water. It's a local brewery in Indianapolis.
I think
I want you
saw
to try
bottle.
that. Yeah,
All right.
there's 2 cans. There are a couple cans of it on the in the door. There's a free chili water commercial. When you're 21, we'll explain it to you.
Oh, yeah.
Tanner.
That's only a couple months away, actually.
You're getting close. When's the big birthday?
August the 13th.
I think we talked about that. Maybe we're going to throw you a party. Do you
Yeah,
want to? Do you want a
yeah.
party out here for your
course.
21st?
Of course.
As
As long as
maybe
it's
that'll
a
be
surprise party.
a surprise.
Yeah.
Will you remember it if we just like, hey, we're having a party?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be here.
Yeah,
but
and you
I
won't be like, oh shit, this is my birthday. I wish my real friends were here, not these libertarians.
Yeah, I would totally come for my birthday party.
Yeah, maybe Sarah could bake a cake, or Lisa could
Perfect.
come back and bake a cake, or
If Lisa's
Miranda
not
could jump
here.
out of a cake.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'd need a lot of. I don't know how to make a cake that big. I'm sure that the women could work that out though.
definitely.
Probably going to need to start baking right away.
Oh, here he is.
What is that? That is not it. Well, that's a what? No, I don't. That's don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, there are 12-ounce cans. He got a bullet bottle that is filled with something from the track, and I don't know what that could be. That could be piss, man.
There's a lot of pulp in this.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of pulp in it. I don't know what he's got, but we're gonna send him back. That's a reject. That's a really good way to miss work tomorrow.
Yeah, no kidding.
Questionable half-open track beer. that.
I bet it's a mixture of about everything. Bodily fluids.
There's
Maybe a little bit of beer in there.
yeah, there could be. It's very possible. We were pretty premium this year. In turn 3, we had a bucket for, there's long lines at the bathroom. We talked about that before where, everybody's in the wrong bathroom, so we had a bucket. Had to empty it twice. It was that bad. They emptied it twice.
Yuck. That does not sound very sanitary.
It's like camping. There they are. That's all you, man.
Just grab the one.
Just grab one.
Shotgun it.
I thought you were going to get 2, one for each of us, but if you just got one,
I
that's
can
cool.
only find the one in there.
That's all right.
Ain't beer grand. That's what it says around the top of it.
Chili water. So, yeah, they're down on, I think, Virginia Avenue on the southeast side of Indianapolis. It's locally brewed, though.
Oh, yeah. Built to last German Pilsner. That's what I got here. It's 4.7% alcohol. The Milwaukee's Best I had this weekend was 4.9.
Oh, wow.
So
That sounds delicious.
dude, it was really good stuff. Like I said, I only drank on Friday and Saturday, and I polished off that case of 30. So it was good enough for me to keep drinking.
Yeah,
you know?
it sounds like it. After a few of them, I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I ended up having the night of the poker run. Now this is what we're calling debauchery right here.
All right.
I had 2 apple pie pudding shots. I had 5 shots of a lemonade moonshine. I had 15 Milwaukee's Best, and didn't remember a thing come Sunday morning. It was a really good night.
Yeah, you were probably still up and going on Sunday morning when we were driving in.
Depends what time what time were you driving in?
3 in the morning.
Oh,
I was up
yeah.
at 3, and we were on the road by 3:45.
Oh yeah, I was up. We were still dancing. There's a dance.
Let me
after-
guess, there was some sort of bluegrass music.
No. It's a professional DJ. He goes. His name's DJ Billy.
Shocking.
He's
It's
actually
not DJ Billy Bob. It's DJ
he's
Billy.
actually a super good DJ. Like he's gonna DJ at our wedding. Like he's really good. And
He's the one that I have to bribe to pay to get that song played.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right.
He's the one.
DJ Billy.
DJ Billy. And so we're at this dance, and Audrey turned in early.
Quitter.
And she had enough to drink. And she had
Pepsi.
way too much water. And so she goes back to the camper, and she's like, I'm going to bed. I'm like, all right. And the night is continuing going on. She left at like 10:30.
So you couldn't go home with
And-
Audrey. Did you take Billy home?
I didn't take Billy home, but what's interesting
Needed
is
something
that
warm.
there was a lady who was there who was probably 28, 29.
Sounds
and
very nice.
She comes up and she starts talking to me.
This is at the
And-
campground, or this is at like a local club?
No, this is at the campground. We have a huge clubhouse up there.
Okay.
And this lady comes up, she's talking to me, and she's like, do you like to dance? I'm like, no, but I'll watch people dance, but I'm not much of a dancer. And she's like, oh, yeah, me too. So we get to talking. We're talking for like 30, 45 minutes. And then she goes, come on, come out and dance with me. And I'm like, no, that's all right. And then I get a text from one of my friends down there, Brian, and it just says, watch that one. I was like, in that moment, it all clicked. She was not just being friendly. She was wanting to find a camper to stay in that night. And it's a good thing you said something, because by the end of the night, she comes up to me, the dance is over. It's like 1:30. And she says, are you heading back? And I was like, yeah, I don't know yet. I might stay out a little bit longer and go hit up some campfires or something. And she says, okay, well, I'll just ride with you. And I said, actually, no, I'm pretty tired. I might just head home. And she obliged, said her goodbyes, and was on her way. But
And then she was in panic mode because it was the end of the night, and she
Yeah,
didn't get
that's
to go
right.
home with Dakota.
And by God, I made my rounds to the campfires, and it was very interesting. On that note, I'm going to try this chili water.
It's German, just like you. Half German.
That's good stuff.
There you go.
Does it taste like Jewish people?
Oh my God.
Tastes like the opposite. This is pure Aryan beer.
No, it tastes like real people.
Wow. All right. Well, let's see. We're up at that hour mark again here. We didn't get into some of the other junk that I had listed for us. We do want to remind people the Boss Hog Liberty page is out there now. We're up over 200, I think over 250 likes. We're getting a few every day. We appreciate that. I trust that Dakota and Tanner have invited everybody on their friends list by now, and
Of course.
they've all liked the page.
Actually, I cannot figure out how to invite friends to like it.
You're not.
I think it's right on the page, isn't it? When you click on the page, it says invite friends.
We'll teach you how to use
That's what I thought,
Facebook
too.
later.
I mean, I invited people to come and like the Libertarian Party of Henry County page. I invited every single one of my friends,
yeah.
and
This is a bit of a struggle for you, though.
I can't figure out how I did it. Like, I have no idea.
That's awesome. All right. Well, let's see. You've got something prepared over there about Ivanka. You're our correspondent for Cosmo magazine. Is that right? So this is going to be a Cosmo article. This is I think our 9th episode of the Boss Hog with Liberty with Jeremiah Morrell, Dakota Davis, and guest Tanner Perdew today. And I think this is the second time you've actually got an article for us.
I know I've been slacking on my duties, but I found one that if you've ever like scrolled through the headlines in Cosmo, it is worse. Oh, it is horrible, but it's so horrible that it's quite entertaining. It is pretty funny. They are so hypocritical. They will just jump back and forth on issues, just like the editors don't even read what's happening, and it makes for golden entertainment. But anyway, I found this one that, as I'm scrolling through today, I find one that says Melania Trump.
Melania.
Okay.
Is it Curaca or Curaco? Melania.
Anyway, it says
Ketchup or catsup?
they say she did a great job on her first international tour as First Lady. I'm like, oh, that's nice.
I didn't know she'd left New York.
Yeah.
She didn't do anything except slap Donald's hand away from her.
Yeah, that was funny. But they said she did a great job. They were, commending all of her efforts and everything, blah, 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 blah. And then as I scroll down, let's see, that article was actually published yesterday. And the next headline that I saw was also published yesterday on Memorial Day. It says, Ivanka Trump tweeted out something on Memorial Day, and people are furious. Furious. So I had to know. I clicked on it, and she tweeted a recipe for champagne popsicles and said...
What?
Yeah, she tweeted a recipe and said, enjoy these hashtag champagne popsicles on a nice and refreshing hot Memorial Day off work or something. I was like, oh.
I don't see
Yeah,
any
but
big
what's
issue with that.
What's so bad about that? Trump's wife did a great job. Why isn't this good? People were, just bombarding her. Oh, this is about the troops that died. This is about the troops that died for our freedom. And my dad was a Vietnam vet. He doesn't care about your champagne popsicles. I'm like, seriously? Are you telling me that the entire Memorial Day you sat at home and thought, man, I'm going to use this day off and I'm just going to sit here and contemplate I'm just going to sit here and read a book of all fallen soldiers and just say a prayer for each hundreds of thousands that I come across. No, you didn't do that.
The names?
You cracked a beer and you sat back with your friends on your day off work.
Ate hot dogs.
And ate hot dogs and cheeseburgers and did your thing.
And ice cream and apple pie.
Good God. I mean, somebody thinks that it's okay to have some champagne popsicles. Let them have their champagne popsicles.
Yeah. I listened to Back Home Again in Indiana and listened to Taps and the 21 Gun Salute, and they raced some cars, and that's Memorial Day weekend. That's the deal.
Yeah.
Hard to cast stones on that one. Did you guys, were you triggered by the Japanese fellow winning the race,
Yes.
Takuma Sato? Because there was a guy that said that he was offended by the Japanese winning a race on Memorial Day weekend, and he got fired at a not Detroit, Denver.
Denver.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, he was offended. How can you fire someone for being offended?
I mean, any
And
other
this
day
is the
other than
21st
Memorial
century.
Day. Any other day. Except Christmas.
It's hard to race an Indy car there at Christmas.
That was what Greg Lynn said.
Yeah.
Brought to you by the people that brought you Pearl Harbor. That is
These people ought to be happy that
so
that
offensive.
their economic government, their economic freedom government that they installed, that these are all the second and third generation folks that came from there.
That's right.
They're the ones that are out there now, not the people that bombed you. It's not the imperial Japanese anymore.
Nope, it's not. And that's what I was talking to my grandpa, and he's like, "I wonder who won the race." I was like,
You don't want to know.
I was like, some Japanese guy.
He's
And
a great
goes,
dude. I'm
goes,
really excited he won.
That's why I don't watch it anymore. All these damn foreigners taking it over. I
All
thought,
these damn foreigners.
all right.
An American won last year, okay? Alex Rossi won last year.
But
Takuma Sato's been here for a decade.
it's Memorial Day.
It's that race has been the international sweepstakes since the very beginning. Jules Gu won in 1912.
That doesn't
Drinking
sound
wine.
very American.
Maybe he won in 1913. Check local
Has there ever
listings
been
on that.
a German to win?
A German winner? Man, I don't think there has been. I could be wrong, but I don't know that there has. There have been Brits, there have been Scots, Australian, New Zealanders, a lot of Brazilians, Colombians.
Despicable.
No Germans.
No Germans. I don't think. Of course, Michael Schumacher was one of the greatest F1 drivers of all time, and he was a German. So there have been Germans in the race, but I don't think there's been a German winner yet.
It's heritage, not hate.
13 Americans in the race, drivers from 11 different countries.
Oh, wow.
And one wins from a different country, and all of a sudden people are butthurt. Sad. So, all right. Well, I think it's time for final thoughts. We got anything over there, Tanner? You got any final thoughts for us?
No. Just thank you to Christy Avery for the donation, and come to the pool party and my birthday party.
We're having a production meeting now. We think we're going to have a pool party for Tanner around his birthday, August 13th or somewhere in there. That might be the next one, as long as there's not a major conflict with the Boss Hog of Liberty's pool hall here.
Yeah,
We'll probably work something out.
that'd be a good time.
Dakota, what's going on over there? Any final thoughts? Final thoughts, not that hoe over there, but thoughts, ideas per se.
I finally submitted my host information to Dear Leader today.
I did too. He beat the crap out of me. He said even Tad has filled this out, and Tad doesn't do anything.
But he keeps sending it to me, and like he would send it with the same message over and over again. So like, there comes a point whenever people do that. I think it's after like 3 or 4, where you're like, okay, they're starting to get pissed now. Like you can just
I really have to do it.
Yeah, even though it says the same exact thing, it's almost like you can feel it through the phone. Like they're just like.
So is that what I needed to do to get you to answer me back? Is text you 4 or 5 times in a row?
Yeah, that's
because
right.
that worked today.
God,
Yeah.
I
that is the
texted you and then I called you, and then you're like, "What?" It's like, "Are you coming over to podcast?" We didn't set a time. Okay, well, it's always at 7. I think mostly.
Mostly.
Last time it was at 8.
Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story.
You, Tanner. Thank you.
You're on probation, Tanner.
Yeah.
Now,
So you get your host form filled
I
out.
got my host form filled out, so hopefully I'll be getting an official We Are Libertarians email here soon.
So yeah, we'll be able to hit you up at Davis at
Davis.
WeAreLibertarians.com.
Yep. And as I always say,
I do
add me
question
on
Dear
Facebook,
Leader's wisdom, because what if we get another Davis at some point? Somebody named Davis. I mean, what if
which is like super possible.
what if Audrey Joe becomes Audrey Joe Davis in 8 months or 6 months? We're getting close on this countdown.
Yeah.
And what if she needs an email address? And then you'd have to
Maybe.
share. A
Yeah,
joint
well,
Facebook
I'm
account
sure
is
we'll
a
just share
problem.
one. We'll just share one.
Joint Facebook account means somebody cheated. What happens in the
Yeah,
real
that's
libertarians
right.
world?
I don't know, man.
You don't
I'm
want
sure
to
it's
start
something
your
way
marriage
more-
off with a joint
I'm
Facebook,
sure
a joint
it's
email
just
account.
something way more intense. Which, okay, I guess my final thought today is, there's a girl I went to high school with. She's still in high school. Like she was.
What?
No, like she wasn't in
Oh.
my class. She was just a lot younger than me. She'll be a senior next year.
Yes.
And she just got engaged.
Oh, wow.
Like 2 or 3 months ago to a boy that she'd been, I say boy because he's like 16 years old, and that she'd been dating for like 3 months. And
when is the baby due?
Right, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And they have joint Facebook accounts. But see, here's the thing. Like, usually when people do that, it's usually like the man has done something to screw up. So the wife says, you know what, you're getting rid of your Facebook account. We're going to join one.
Yeah.
This is not how it was. This says they each kept their Facebook accounts, but added the other person's name to it.
So now they have 2.
Right.
So there's 2 merging accounts.
Right, there's 2 merging accounts. It's like...
One of them should use one of them for total shit posting and get a lifetime ban. Whoever gets the lifetime ban first, that's what they should do. That's how I would handle it.
I don't even know, like if that's your daughter, and you're like, yeah, sure, you know, go ahead and get engaged. You're 16. Known this guy for 3 months. You can go ahead and,
She's still 16. No, he's 16. She's a senior now. She's of marrying age, right?
She's probably 17. I mean, my sister is graduating on Saturday, and she's not 18 yet.
Well, yeah, I graduated at 17, and I turned 18 in July.
Right.
I mean, it's close enough for government work.
So still probably 17-year-old, people, and it's like, how is this? Like, I don't know.
That's how you get those 80-year marriages, man. We've been married 80 years because we got married at 18 at the end of a shotgun.
Right.
It was an emergency.
It just seems a little bit intense for me.
Says the 21-year-old groom.
See, I'm always like, man, I'm getting married really young, and then it's like, whatever.
As long as you're good with it, man. As long as you're happy. You're already late, Tanner. You should be engaged by now if you're on the Dakota plan.
That's right.
Yeah, you got to slow down,
He's locking it down while he can. Not letting her get away. That's a good deal. All right. So you got, how do we follow you? You just message the Boss Hog Liberty page. We got that now on Facebook. Like that.
And it turns out I do have a Twitter account that I must have set up years ago. Like whenever.
Does this have more 13-year-old pictures of Dakota on there?
I don't know. I mean, you can go check it out. It's at Atokad Savad.
You're going to have to spell that one. That doesn't even sound
English.
English.
It is literally Dakota Davis spelled backwards.
Oh, it's like my dad. My dad is Lop Larome.
Yeah.
All moral. Lop Larome. So you're Tokad Savad.
Atokad Savad.
Atokad.
Atokad. Yeah. My name ends with an A.
Atokad Savad. At Atokad Savad.
At Atokad Savad.
On the Twitter. You sound very Middle Eastern like that. You're dark. You've got your beard.
Yeah.
You go walking into the wrong bar with the name of Tokad Savad, and they're not letting you out.
No, I would just be let out very quickly.
All right. Well, follow Tokad Savad on Twitter, Boss Hog Liberty on Facebook. I am Jeremiah Morrell, your host. Very appreciative of everybody that's listening. This thing's growing fast, and it's really been incredible. These aren't free though. I think we do have costs to add these additional podcasts. So jump on Patreon or PayPal or Patreon on the We Are Libertarians page and throw a couple shekels our way to help make it happen. You can follow me at Jeremiah Morrell on Twitter if you want constant retweets of IndyCar. Facebook.com/Jeremiah Morrell or Facebook.com/Boss Hog of Liberty. That's probably the best place to get us. That's an inbox directly to Dakota and myself. Or Morrell at WeAreLibertarians.com. That works now too. So,
and everybody go add Ronnie Paul on Facebook.
Yeah, that's right. You're gonna give old Ronnie Paul, Rand's brother, the Dakota Davis Boss Hog of Liberty bump.
Ronnie's only got 517 friends.
It's very exclusive.
He needs it.
Very exclusive. You've probably got more friends than Ronnie Paul.
Me? I don't know. I don't know how many I have. I have gotten a little bit of a bump since we started doing this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've probably doubled your Facebook friends since you met me.
Oh, yeah, that's easily.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I have 951.
One of my brother's high school friends, he was a basketball player with us that was at the tailgate. He came over and he said, said, when did Jeremiah become the popular one? This is ridiculous. Because Danny was the guy playing sports, and I was, I was doing my own thing at the time and not really super plugged into that stuff. And now the social circle, thanks to the magic of the podcast, it's like being a social butterfly over here. So welcome to the club, Dakota. All right.
Thank you.
Appreciate everybody listening. We will we'll be back. I'm guessing the next episode is either going to be during the pool party or most likely an aftermath recap of what they broke at my house and what the damages are to fix it. See y'all next time.
Thank you for listening to the We're Libertarians Network. Get our other shows at We'reLibertarians.com.